What is going on, beautiful people? I pray that you are just doing, I pray you're just doing phenomenally well. Okay. So on this video, what I want to talk about is what should you expect as a new real estate investor? And so I recently uploaded a video where I was talking about setting expectations with the sellers. But later on that day, it kind of trickled into a conversation that I was having with somebody over social media. It was a newer investor who is just kind of maybe struggling to get their footing, if that's the right word, or just, they took some training and everybody made it sound a lot easier than what it was, and they were just kind of struggling. So, on this video, I kind of want to talk to you through that perspective, right? Like, what can you expect as a new investor? So, I don't have a script for this. I just kind of want to talk with you, think with you out loud, if you will, and hopefully, prayerfully, I'm not all over the place and I add value on this call. So definitely like, subscribe, share, all of that good stuff. Now, I think it's important to note that though real estate is simple, it isn't easy. And I think that's the first thing that you should expect, right? Like any single thing worth having, worth building, is going to take effort, energy, time, right? Like when I was speaking backstage, I wasn't speaking backstage. I was backstage at an event that I was speaking at, and I was talking to Ed Milet. And one of the most powerful things that he's given me, or that he gave me, was he told me, Clifford, give yourself some grace, right? And I want to extend that wisdom to you. Like, give yourself some grace and just know that you are not going to have every single scenario figured out at the very beginning. There is going to be this massive, massive learning curve that you're going to go through. And that's okay. Just know that every single person that you're watching, including myself here on YouTube and every guru, right? Like they've all had that learning curve that they had to go through. And I think that sometimes for us, we can forget that we went through that, just because we've been in it for, at least for myself, 6 years now, where, yeah, we forget to share those early struggles. So, number one, give yourself some grace. Number two, just know that there's going to be a massive learning curve. Step number three, I guess you could say or call this, is that it takes volume, consistency, and follow up. It is actually very, very, very rare that I am going to have a one call close. What does this mean? Meaning that I'm going to call a seller on the very first time and get them to sign a contract. There is a lot of volume, consistency, and follow up that goes along because I have to build likability and trust. Okay. Let me break these down even further. When I talk about volume, like let's say, for example, when we're doing cold calling, well, we're going to call, you know, and have 90 to 100 conversations with sellers before we have a closed deal, money in the bank. And so what ends up happening with so many new investors, right, is that they've talked to 40 or 50 people and they heard 40 or 50 no's, and they feel like, oh, well, this doesn't work. It only works for Clifford, or it only works for this guy or that girl, right? And no, that's not the case. You just have to have the persistence. You have to keep being told, or be okay with being told no, right? To get to that person that God is putting you before, in front of, so that you can serve and be a blessing to them. So that's extremely important. And then also the level of consistency, right? I'll think about when I first started, and this will kind of give you like the mindset that I was in. Like I was sitting and driving, I was driving trucks at the time, and I would be sitting and driving on my phone 10, 11 hours a day, every single day, every single day. Yes, on Sundays too. Yes, on weekends. Like I was hammering the phones, but I was having so much volume, so much consistency, right? To where it landed me 6 deals my first month once I got connected, right? With my coach and my mentor. Like I had the blueprint and I was off to the races. And then also, when I wasn't on the phone or I was at the truck stops, you know, resting or waiting to get unloaded, there's old pictures of me where you'll see I had my 18-wheeler truck bed full of bandit signs where I would be in there writing "We Buy Houses" signs while I'm waiting to get unloaded. Like, so that way when I did get home, I could go and put out those bandit signs. So there was just some massive 10x action that was being taken, right? Like, now I know that not everybody's schedule is going to permit that type of action, but so we have to get creative and figure out and solve our own problems, right? And figure out how can we still create the volume without having to do so much manual labor, I guess you could say, right? Can you hire cold callers? Can you put people in place? Could you put systems in place that can start to automate these things for you? And that's what's beautiful about actually doing real estate now, because there's so many different platforms and softwares to where you can automate these things, right? And that's another thing. Remember, your job is to solve problems. You are a problem solver. Problems equal opportunities. You don't run from problems, okay? You figure out how to solve them, whether for yourself or whether for your sellers, okay? You just have to remember that, okay? Um, nobody nobody calls a fireman when there's no problem, right? That's his job, to come put out fires. So think about that. Like, nobody's going to be calling you typically if there's no problems to put out, especially as you start to build a team and grow a team. I see so many people who reach out to me and they're like, Clifford, this property has liens on it. Should we just move on? Or, Clifford, this property is in foreclosure. Should we just move on? I'm like, no, these are the things that you want. You are looking for problems because it is those problems that you get to solve. It is those fires that you get to put out that's going to create the opportunities for you, not to just be a blessing to somebody else, but also to reap the benefit, reap the reward, right, of cashing a nice check after you solve somebody's problem. So remember that, all right, that problems will equal opportunity. So I don't want this video to be too long. I just kind of wanted to pour into y'all a little bit and share some guidance, some insight, some inspiration, if you will, to let you know that no, this won't be an easy task, but I guarantee you, I promise you, it will be worth it. It can be worth it. And what's amazing about real estate is you can scale this as small as you want it or as large as you want it. That is completely up to you. But y'all leave in the comments below if you have any questions or if this was helpful for you. But y'all have a beautifully blessed one. See you on the next one.